Hi, welcome to Art Draw. Today I'm going to draw Poe Dameron from Fortnite and Star Wars Galactic Battle. Let's go and have a look. We're going to draw a full body version of him in his X-Wing outfit. So I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to go facing out this way. So I'm going to go to the top here. I'm going to start drawing his hair. So the end of his hair is around about here. I'm just going to draw his kind of like brown hair, sort of wavy, coming around the back. Like that, okay. It's a little bit of almost like a quiff going on at the front, so a little bit of a curl there. Just have it sort of cascading downwards this way, down around here. Now his ear is going to be around this way, so just going to pop a bit of an ear in around here. And there's got a sideburn going down this way, around there. And then the back of his hair sort of comes around that ear area and around the back here. Just gonna put a few of those waves of the hair going around there. That sort of Oscar Isaac look. There we go, that's good. Okay, we've got the hair there, the ear there. Let's draw the front sort of profile of his face here. So it's going in over this way, just by that curl there. Gonna sort of just mark down this way the forehead to an eyebrow. Got another eyebrow, sort of the main one we're going to see sort of facing her here. Let's just continue, just dip it in a little bit there. Then we're going to come outwards with the nose, so just going to bring it out here, so sort of fairly straight to about that point. Come inwards like that, maybe a little bit of a nostril there. I'll just bring it out a bit around here. There we go, make that profile work. And then the upper part of the lip, I guess it comes out just a bit like that. We have a bit of almost like an Oscar Isaac pout there. Come in a little bit around here, like that. And then we can draw the chin sort of around here. Bring it around this way, up to a jaw area like that. There we go, that's cool. Maybe a little bit of a chin line here. And what I will do is just sort of draw a nice little oval over here, where his top lid of his eye is, and then under here, bottom part, and then he's looking forward, so just put a little pupil element in there. What I might just do is just fill this in here, just sort of bring this profile out around here, so get really in control of this sort of profile around here. Maybe just fill in the bottom area there. So go around, and then he's got just a bit of stubble, so I'm just gonna put a few little dots just at the end there, just to kind of show that kind of stubble, and the rest of that I'm gonna kind of just fill in myself, I think. Cool, okay. Let's go to the next part. So we're just gonna do a little Adam's apple around here, then he's got a collar element of the X-Wing pilot uniform. So I'm gonna come out from this chin like that, just a nice little sort of collar. Another one coming up this way, sort of scoop it up this way and around like that. Just bring it around here, and he's got a neck sort of coming up there, so just bring that in there. In the middle here, there's like the pack sort of must be like the oxygen system, I guess, little life support system. So I'm gonna draw a nice rectangle in around here. Maybe just fill in the bottom bit a bit more, chunk it out a bit. Then in the middle of it, what I'm going to do is maybe just put a couple little squares, just give it a little bit of detail. So another little rectangle here, maybe a circle in there, right? Fill that in. Then a couple little lines coming off, make it look sort of detailed. Maybe just a little line across it there. Right, I think that's enough detail on there. Let's continue just as we're moving along here with the shoulders. So it's almost like it's got these white elements, almost like a bit of a life jacket coming over this way. So from the chin area, it's going to come out here. From the collar area, going to come out here where the shoulders are. Then I'm going to come downwards, so just bring the pen nicely downwards this way. On the other side, bring the pen nicely downwards there. And then this sort of moves in under this way. and up there. And then this one's just a little bit lower, so goes down to there and then just sort of comes around the side. See, there's a couple of little lines underneath there, so I'm just going to pop those in like that in a moment. It's just this collar a little bit, let's just fill that in there. And then what I can do is just continue with this torso. So he has got, it's a little sort of pack. When they convert to Fortnite skins, there's always like little packs all around them, isn't there? So this one is a bit of a rectangle, so I'm just gonna pop it out there, sort of rectangle it off almost there, maybe a little V point here, and underneath it just try and make a little bit 3D by popping it back and up there, continue that line there. Okay, as we continue the torso we can get down to the belt area, so just gonna kind of just draw in there. From this belt point there, I'm just gonna bring my pen inwards, so we've got that sort of support system coming downwards here and the belt here. So the support system is like a tube that comes down this way to about this point. So I'm gonna draw that in because it kind of goes over the belt and the rest of the clothing. So it kind of starts from here. I'm gonna bring my pen down, curve it around to the edge, go like past the leg, almost like towards the back, so curve it around. Then I'm gonna go from about this point, just bring your pen down, nice and steady, and get it to meet up. Now in the middle of that there's lots of little lines going on, so I'm just going to populate it with lots of little lines. It goes around that corner there. And now I've got that in, I can draw the belt element. So there's a belt that comes around here, so it just sort of curves around this corner here and here. A little bit of a lip on that bit. Then the middle bit sort of comes out this way, like the buckle element is sort of here. So we'll just fill that in a little bit, put a little cross in there. There's another little point of this belt that comes down this way, so I'm just going to draw a big sort of rectangle point there. Then I'm going to just continue around to the edge and around this way and in there. There's a little bit of a point sticking out of that bit. Then we've got another little curve here. So actually there's another little buckle about here, one underneath. But then I'll just draw a couple of lines in there, and then what I'll do is just draw a little curve around this way like that and in. Okay, so we've got those points in there. This little belt thing, there is another one on this side too actually, so I'm just going to draw a nice little curve out and up, and then from the top draw a little curve out and around, maybe just cap that off a bit. So all these little bits of straps, stuff like that, make them look like a bit of a pilot. Coming down this way, just going to fill this part of the leg in, so it's going to come down to that bit we just made. The middle of his leg's probably about here, so let's just put a couple of little lines in there to denote that. And then I can continue this leg. So first of all, there's another one of these little packs on this leg here, so I'm going to really come out this way. Just sort of bound it out there. And now I've got that in, I can come down from this midsection here. So just bring your pen down, it's got these nice little wide trousers to about here. Just under this point, actually there's another pocket. Nice little sort of rounded, curvy rectangle underneath that. Then he's got a little band under here, so I'm just gonna draw a couple of curves in like that, round, sort of caps it off a bit. And then under there, I'm gonna come down to about this point, I think, looking at that. So just bring my pen down to like the trousers sort of end around here. They curve around a little bit as well. So it's quite nice to draw those in. Let's draw the other trousers. This one is coming, this leg actually is coming down this way a bit more. There's a big pack over here, so I'm gonna just draw a nice rounded rectangle first of all here. And then I'm gonna come down sort of that midsection, probably from about this point. Nice little curve down to about here. There's a couple of straps around this point here, so just before that we've got another little sort of rectangle bit. Loads of pockets on these bits of clothing, right? And then as we come down here, there's a little bit of strapping around there. There's a couple of little bits on this. So I'm just gonna draw a couple of little oblongs, a couple of little lines in, just looks like it's all coming together. bit further down, there's another strap. So just draw another strap in around here. And then what I can do is just draw the rest of the trousers. So it sort of comes down this way, out around here, curves it around and upwards like that. A couple of little wiggles in there. And then just here, let's just finish that off there. Just put a curve in there. We've got those trousers in there. Let's do the feet while we're here. So it's got kind of combat boots on. This one's going to come out this way. So from this point here, draw a nice line down. Curve it around, out a bit where the heel is, and then just mark it up. What I will do is just sort of fit that bit underneath. And this one is kind of coming out this way to about a toe point around here. So from the edge of the trousers here, I'm just going to bring my pen down, curve it around, get to the heel, out and upwards there. Again, we'll just fill the bottom area in, a bit of a heel like that. Okay, it's coming together pretty good. Let's go back up to the top, let's go back up to here. There's a couple of extra bits on this kind of life jackety bit, so I'm gonna just come outwards here, bring my pen in, and over here, come outwards here, and bring the pen in there. And there's a little connection to that pack there, so just a couple of little lines there. Now let's look at this arm. This arm's coming down here, there's a glove, and the glove comes just behind here. So again, we've got, it's a bit like the trousers, we've got a big jacketed area. There's a shoulder element here. Just wind and wobble the pen a little bit, so there's a fair bit of material. And underneath, probably go from here, wobble about, and then what we can do is just cap that either side there. And now what we can do, we can go down. So the gloves taper in. One there, curve it around. If I am going too fast, just pause it, rewind. You don't have to add as much detail. Just do it at your pace, okay? As we go down here, I can draw the front of the glove, kind of comes downwards, just bring it down there, and then kind of curves around this way, like that, to the behind the leg. And the thumb sort of comes out here and around like that. There's almost like a little rectangular little bit of detail there. There we go, that's all we need to do. A little bit of a lip bit coming out there, another little, like all these little bits and pieces on the uniform there. As we come out here, this arm comes here, down, and it's got a little holster with a gun there. So I'm gonna come out from about this bit, just draw a little bit of a shoulder, come downwards there to an elbow, and then come down and taper in. That's where the glove will be. From this point, we probably come out, let's just draw it up a little bit there, but we'll probably come out from here, nice bit of material, the crease of the elbows around that point. And then we come in there, and then what we can do is just draw a nice curve again for the top of the glove. That glove then comes in this way, so it tapers in this way, tapers in that way. And then I can curve around to where the top of the gun is, and this part curve in, top of the fingers there, maybe just draw a nice little rectangle in there and just cap it a bit there. Now, what I can do is just look at the gun element. So let's go straight down. There's a holster actually here, so I'm just going to curve around here, down, round and up, and just join that up a little bit there, so it's all like touching the belt. Then we've got the top of this gun element, so I'm just going to draw a little rectangle, another little rectangle below, and then it sort of goes down to the end of the gun element. So I'm just going to draw a little laser element there, a couple of little lines, and that's it. What I can do next is just a little bit more detail. So I think the main parts, we're just going to draw in either side of that. And what we can do is just draw some nice little lines in for a bit of texture here as we can come down on this bit here. Little circle there, little rebel symbol here, so that sort of goes around there. Just give a hint of that, comes around here and kind of goes up that way, almost like a bit of an anchor. And there's a couple more of these little bit sort of squaring off around here. And then as we get to this point, actually what I will do is just put a little line on the edge of these and on the edge of this bit and this bit, and then I'll just draw a few more of these little lines in there. Okay. Now as we get to the arms and things, what we'll do is just have the light sort of shining off it, so we can just draw these nice little sort of bouncy bits coming around here. Just adds a nice bit of detail now to our figure of Poe Dameron. Maybe a couple of little curves at the top of those gloves, and maybe there's a little bit of sort of lines down here, here and here, where the material goes, and I think there's almost like a couple of little bands around that way in there. And then again, what we can do is sort of just draw in some nice little sort of little lineage parts, just give it a little bit more detail and oomph. And the rest of that, I think what I would do is probably, maybe I could just fill in, let's say, it's just nice to get a bit of sort of detail in. So what I might do is, maybe these larger points I'll just fill in. It'd be nice to get some inks, just a little bit, all the way down here. And maybe these larger pocket parts, fill those in there, and just embellish on that one there. As we come down to these bits, maybe these edge parts, I can just do a bit of it on that side there. And then in here where the shoe is, just a little bit, a few little lines there just to show it's a bit darker. And maybe there's a little edge on the end of his trousers there. Then apart from that, probably in his hair area, just sort of embellish a little bit. Just sort of maybe just try and just fill in a bit of this hair, make it a little bit darker at the bottom. Just fill in his eyebrow a little bit. And then just make sure that the outlines are nice and chunky. There's a lot of detail going on there. Just making sure that the edges have got enough oomph to work with. So I'm just going to go around these edges a little bit. It just helps differentiate the detail from the outline of my picture. And there we go, that looking pretty good. There's Poe Dameron from Star Wars, also featuring in Fortnite at the moment. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know who else I can be drawing. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll see you again soon. All right, bye for now.